Hi, this is Chi of the Chi Team, and welcome to another episode of HChi TV. Today, we're going to talk about the Good Neighbor Next Door HUD program. And sitting next to me is Christopher Caldwell. He is my very first Good Neighbor Next Door program, so I learned everything from him. And since then, I've helped many other clients with this program. Thank you for coming, Chris.
Of course, Chief.
Awesome. So, to qualify for this program, you have to be a teacher, which Chris was at the time, firefighter, police officer, or EMT, which is the emergency medical technician. You have to be in those professions to qualify for this HUD program. And Chris bought his house back in 2012. So what was the reason? How did you hear about the Good Neighbor Next Door program?
I'm pretty sure it was just an email sent around for the school I was working at, and it was sent around to all the teachers. Someone had heard of it and saw the house and sent it around, and it just so happened that it was in a neighborhood I was looking to eventually move into. And so I looked into it. I submitted our information. I got a call from you, and all of a sudden we were submitting a bid to enter ourselves into the lottery to win the opportunity to buy the house.
Yeah, so it's a very limited time. Once it's listed with HUD, you have about 7 days to submit a bid. So it's a very intense process. And I called you. We had you pre-qualify with the lender to make sure that you qualify financially before we submit a bid. So after we submit a bid, did you expect it to win?
Well, I'm sort of an eternal optimist, so yeah, I did expect to win, but there wasn't any real logic behind my expectation. I didn't know if we were the only people or one of 100, but we won, so that's all I really cared about.
I was happy for you.
Yes, absolutely, as was I. Yeah.
Now, these houses are sold as is, so we did do a home inspection, right?
Yep.
So you know exactly what the home condition was like before we really move forward with the process.
Yeah, so once we were able to win, once we won the lottery, so to speak, then we had an opportunity to look at the home, and if there was something glaringly wrong with it, we could always back out in 48 hours. But we looked at the home, and we saw some small things that needed to be improved, but nothing too major. And so I was really excited to move forward with the process.
Very good. Now, the major part of this program is that HUD will give you a grant for half of the house. With Chris's house, the house value, which was set at $155,000, a grant of $77,500 was issued to Chris at settlement. And that set him up for, like, we'll talk about a little bit, because the main key of this program is that you have to live there for 3 years, and that grant will automatically go away, correct?
Yes. So we lived there for 3 years, and right around the third anniversary, we got a notice from the state and from the city, and it just said, like, basically, are you alive? Do you still live here? Is it your primary place of residence? And we checked all the boxes, signed off, and then within a couple days, the escrow dropped off. So the other half of the mortgage just disappeared and was forgiven. And so then we were set with whatever 70 some odd thousand we still had left on the principal. And that was it for the home.
Right. And what was your monthly payment?
Our monthly payment was less than $900 a month. And that included taxes too. So it was really affordable. I mean, it's sort of like shocking to think about how cheap it was. I know all of my friends were very jealous of the fact that I paid, with home improvements, $90,000 for my house.
$9,000 for your home, so low monthly payment,
Yep.
cheaper than rent. You're able to write off your mortgage and your taxes for your taxes every year, so it's a tax benefit to you.
Yes.
And now let's talk about, so the home is sold as is.
Yes.
What type of improvement did you have to make?
So we had to do some improvements. We repainted the walls, we replaced a couple windows, and then we finished, the basement was like half finished, so we finished the basement. We ended up taking out a loan for about $90,000, so we had $12,000 to use for home improvements. We used most of that. And then that was it. And then the home was more or less ready to move into. So, I mean, there could have been bigger problems at the home. There could have been water damage or some mold or cracked tiles, and I still would have bought the home because the government was giving me 78,000 reasons to buy it.
Right.
So, to me, it was such a no-brainer.
Right. So you bought it 2012 at $155,000, technically. You borrowed a little bit over half. And you contacted me this year to purchase your next home.
Yes.
So to the main reason of buying these homes is to get equity out of this program.
Yes.
So we sold it at how much?
$210.
$210. So instantly, how much was it?
So I think we had about 80 left on our principal, probably somewhere around there, 78, something like that. And then we sold it for 210. So I mean, we're talking about $130,000, which was just like for a jaw-dropping amount of money to make for doing no work.
I think that's the best return of any stock market out there.
Yeah, it's about as good as it can get, right? And I told my wife, I said, look, even if the market doesn't get a lot better, even if the market dips, we're still going to get worse, we'll get $50,000 for not doing anything, just living in the home for 3 years. And so as long as it's a home that you can see yourself living in for a few years and you're comfortable with it, and you keep your eye on the prize for that dream home or that next home, then this can really help you get there. And it helped us.
Sounds good. And for your next home, you're able to get the equity out to put a big down payment on your next home. And the main point is to get that monthly payment on your next home manageable again. Right? And you're able to live in this. Tell me about your current home.
Yeah, so I mean, not only were we able to get the monthly payment low, we were able to pay off some student loans, we were able to pay off, a little bit of credit card debt and save for our next baby, because now we have 2. So we were able to put money aside for the next baby for when my wife takes off work. And the new home, single family home up in Lauraville, and we're a family of 4 now. It's 60% bigger. With a front yard and backyard, and I pay the same amount each month for my mortgage, which is pretty awesome.
How about that?
Yeah, how about that?
Now, is there anything else you want to say, anything more with the people who think about this program?
Yeah, so I don't hide my enthusiasm for this program because of how much it changed my life and my wife's life, but, at the time we were getting married, so we bought this the same month that we got married. I just moved to Baltimore, so there's a lot going on. And she was reticent. She really didn't want to do it. She was hesitant to make the leap because she has so much going on, understandably. And I sold her on it. I forced her to do it. And we were so happy I did because, I mean, there's no way I would have had the discipline to have saved that much money in the 4 or 5 years we lived there to put this type of down payment on a home. And this takes it out of the equation. As long as you can see yourself being happy, being content, living in the home for 3 years, making some small improvements, then sort of the world's your oyster, so to speak. The market really opens up for you when you have that much to put down for a down payment. And all of a sudden your options for your next home 3 years later double or even triple.
And keep in mind, you can keep the home after 3 years. And
we lived in it for 5, I think.
Right, for 5, and you can keep it as a rental property and rent it out and make a good rent payment from that.
Yes.
So and I say this before, and prime example, this program, if you do it right, it will set you up for life.
Yes, absolutely. It has for me, as long as I'm screwed up.
All right, well, thank you so much for watching. If you have any more questions about this program, my information is around this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Chris.
Of course.
All right.
Good to be here.
We'll see you next time.
See ya.